guys, today is going to be pretty funny because you remember last time I tried drawing a character from Hazbin Hotel. I drew Alistair and I tried to transform him into my style, which is kind of like an anime style. That's what I always call it. It's close enough. But after that video came out, I got a ton of requests to draw Angel Dust in my style, and I was not sure how to do this because I didn't really want to draw him furry because he's like a spider, I suppose, and he's very furry, but I didn't want to draw him as like a furry, I guess. I wanted to draw him as like a human anime guy, but that looks like Angel Dust. I don't know if that makes sense. It was easier with Alistair since he was already pretty normal looking besides like the dark skin and whatnot. Like he had like this gray skin, I think. It was like a grayish green. I don't remember exactly the color, but that was like easier because it looked more like a human. It just looked like a human with like different colors for them that may not be human, but more like an anime character. Angel Dust is a different story. That was a challenge. I hope you guys will enjoy this because I struggled. You're probably wondering why right now is this man's chest popping out of his clothes? Let me explain. Don't judge me just yet. Okay, well, if you look over to the right there, you'll see Angel Dust from the actual Hazbin Hotel little, I always call it a movie, but it's actually like an episode or a pilot. And you can see his chest is kind of popping out of his clothes, but he's furry, so it looks like well, fur popping out of his clothes. And I was like, how do I represent this with an anime man? So the first thing I thought of was just have his chest popping out, but then it looks really weird. It looks really weird. I'm regretting everything, but I'm also like, I had way too much fun with this at the same time. So I guess I didn't really regret it that much, but it's still very funny to me. When it came to his like hair, as you can tell, his hair kind of meshes into his head because I guess he's supposed to be furry. But I didn't know how to do that with an anime guy, so it was way more challenging than Alistair by far. Like, I think drawing Vaggie or Charlie would be so much easier than drawing Angel Dust. He was difficult, to say the least. If you guys want to request more characters from this series, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments who you'd like to see me draw next. Hopefully, it'll be a character I can actually draw. I know most of them are probably characters I could draw okay. I think one of the ones that would be most difficult was, what's his name? It's the spider, no, not spider, a snake guy, the villain. It was Sir something. If you guys know his name, please put it in the comments. But I was struggling with this. One of the things that was actually more simple, you could tell right now the colors are very vibrant. I do change that later. I just start vibrant so I can tell what's what when I'm coloring sketches. I know right now it's blinding. But anyway, one of the things that was kind of easy was the clothes, because the clothes can come over pretty easily. He did have 4 arms. For some reason, when I watched the episode, the pilot, I watched it twice. I somehow never really noticed he had 4 arms. I don't know how I didn't notice, because when I was like, oh, I'm gonna draw him, I did not consider drawing 4 arms. Then I look at pictures and I'm like, wait a second, he has more than just 2 arms. And I was like, that's going to look very interesting. How am I supposed to do that as well as everything else? And I also wasn't sure what he was wearing for pants. You can't see the pants over there on the right, but if you Google him, he is wearing like, I don't know if it's a skirt or if it's shorts. I can't tell. But then he also has like thigh-high socks or boots. I think there's maybe his shoes. Like, it kind of connects, so I'm not sure if they're shoes or if they're socks or what's going on there. But and then I wasn't sure if he was wearing a skirt or if he was wearing like shorts. So I went with the short route, like with the shorts, but I wasn't sure exactly. You guys have to let me know if you know, but the art style they use, it makes the pants look very simplistic, where it's just like a line. I wasn't sure what it was. So hopefully it looks okay. I wasn't sure. For the background, I went for like a background setting I saw in the actual pilot that I was like, man, that looks cool. I'm going to go for that sort of thing so that it kind of meshes with the art style, even though I'm using my own art style. But you know what I mean. I wanted it to look like Hazbin Hotel, which always has lots of red colors in it. Well, I thought so anyway while watching it. So that's what I was going for, but I'm still not sure what I feel about the fact I have his chest popping out. That's probably the biggest thing that is disturbing me, but it's like, well, you know, he's got to be fabulous. I feel like him going all out wouldn't be so out of character. But he also has these dots under his eyes, and I wasn't sure how to do that. So I just put dots. I didn't put any detail. I wasn't sure if there was supposed to be more detail or what's going on. And he also has like circles, like polka dots sort of in his hair, which his hair kind of attached to his head. So I wasn't sure what was going on. He's one of those characters you look at and you have to try to figure out where he starts and where he ends, because I'm so confused. Like with Alistair, you can tell where he starts, where he ends, because he looks humanoid. He looks like a human. But then with Angel Dust, he doesn't look human at all, to be honest. He looks very strange. And I feel like he's one of those characters, if you actually saw him like in different angles, you'd be like so confused as what was going on because you mostly see him from like very specific angles. And his hair's always to the side, even if you see him from the front. You see him from the side, his hair's to the side. You see him from the front, his hair's to the side. It's reminding me of Jessie from Pokemon. Her hair was always pointing the same direction. It was like pointing north at all times. And then if she turned around, it was still pointing the same direction. I don't know how that works, but cartoon logic. Well, he's like one of those characters where I don't think you ever see his hair from the front, even though he looks different directions. His hair just always seems to be in the same place, but I was confused by that. His hair also like comes pointed out the back, and I was like, how do I do this only as like a human character? So I was like, maybe I'll just make the hair like cut straight in the back and have the front be more long, and I don't know. It was a struggle, to say the least. He also has one gold tooth. You can't really see all his teeth in these photos. You can only see like one, I'm pretty sure. But he has one gold tooth, and then he has other white teeth, and they're all spiky. So that wasn't too hard to add. I just add spiky teeth instead of regular teeth. I mean, that's not too crazy. That was manageable. The other thing I was struggling with was he has a bow tie and a choker. I was like, okay, let me think. The bow tie has to be hooked to his shirt, but his shirt's popping open. So I'm like, how is this happening? Is it only popping open after it's closed at the top? And it's like popping open below it? So I wasn't sure. So I just connected the bow tie to it like its own thing, because I could not figure out how to make that look right with a regular human male chest rather than the fuzziness going on there. So I don't know. I've seen other people who turn him into anime characters. They just like leave the fuzziness on the chest, and maybe they're like trying to make it close instead, which that would work if you made it like some sort of piece of clothing under there. But leaving it fuzzy, I thought that wouldn't make any sense for me, just because it was like, I feel like he's supposed to have his chest exposed. I think that's the idea going on there since he's so fuzzy, but that's what I was going for. I don't know if it worked or what you guys think. I feel like every time I draw one of these characters, it's going to get weirder every time. I mean, Alistair was pretty straightforward. It just looks like Alistair, only in my style. But going straight to Angel Dust, that was that was a lot harder. I feel like doing the other characters would be so much easier for me because they look more humanoid. But I realized everyone also has very pointed like shoulders. I was like, it looks like shoulder pads. You remember when that was cool? Everyone had the shoulder pads and like clothes, and it was, yeah, it looks great. But I didn't know how to do that, and if they were supposed to be pointed or not. And if you look around the left there, those are my big supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting me, Myra Marty and James. And if you want to go follow them, Myra Marty's up on Instagram with Myra Marty 421. Hopefully I'm reading that right. I am not wearing my contacts, so I can't tell if I'm reading that right. But thank you so much for supporting me. If you want to support me up on Patreon, I'll put the link down in the description and also in the comments, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So it's pretty much done now. Yeah, there we go. It's all done now. So please do let me know what you think about this drawing. Let me know what you think about that, deciding to have the chest like that. I'm still laughing at it because it's just, I didn't know what to do. So I was just like, you know, we're just gonna make him real sassy looking, like, because I think it matches his character. He's pretty like flirtatious and whatnot. So that's what I was going for. I hope that's what came across. He just doesn't look like a weirdo. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know who your favorite character is. And thank you guys so much for watching.